What is up, GTA fans? It's your host, the Stoned Anarchist, bringing you guys another daily GTA content video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that red sub button down below. It only takes a split second. That way you for sure won't miss out on all the great daily GTA content videos. I bring you guys a couple videos a day. Great content, very interesting videos, so you won't want to miss out. Hit that red sub button. If you enjoyed today's video and find it informative, be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. That'll be much appreciated. So without further ado, let's move into today's GTA video. So today what I want to do is just basically talk to you guys and give you guys a list of things that I would like to see come to GTA Next Gen, and things that I feel that if they brought to GTA Online would make the game a lot better. So things like, I'll start off with, I hope Next Gen it doesn't spawn similar cars in traffic. You know, you get into, I know that's their algorithm, but you get into let's say an Escalade or something on the game, and a bunch of Escalades spawn in traffic, and it's just, they're everywhere. And it doesn't look very realistic. You know, if you're sitting in traffic in real life, everyone doesn't own the same cars. There's a bunch of different cars, and I would just like to see a bunch of different cars like that be spawned in GTA Online in traffic. So it gives it that more realistic appeal, so you're not driving down the road and spawning a bunch of Range Rovers or Escalades when you're inside of one. It just doesn't look that realistic, especially if you're in a supercar or a Lamborghini and some Lamborghinis spawn. In real life, you wouldn't see a bunch of Lamborghinis spawning around because they're such a rare car, expensive car. It should be hard to find, and they should be more unique. Other things I'd like to see in Next Gen when it comes is no differences between the single player and the offline or the online mode. Right now in Xbox 360 on single player, you have wildlife, you have the occasional shark in the ocean, you have a few extra little things, the scuba gear. But when you go into online on GTA on current gen, there's no sharks in the water, there's no wildlife. So, you know, I don't want, especially with this trailer that's just come out, I'm hoping that these wildlife, you know, the whales and the sharks and stuff like that, isn't just only in single player in next gen, and it is in online as well. Other things I'd like to see is more ocean life. Now in this next gen trailer, we've seen that there's some whales, there's hammerhead sharks and stuff like that. Now let's hope that it's in online and not single player. Keep that in mind. But I would like to see whales, sharks, sea turtles, schools of fish, giant squids, like Easter eggs like a megalodon that travels around the Grand Theft Auto ocean on a random pattern, and it's very hard to find them, but if you're lucky in the right spot on occasion, he'll swim by you and stuff like that, or kill you. That'd be super cool to have a Megalodon Easter egg, and that way when you're diving with your friends or in the submersible in GTA Online underwater and it's really dark and creepy, you could always have that in the back of your mind that, oh my god, Megalodon may be lurking by, and you never know, he could come out of the dark and just eat you in your submersible. That would be extremely cool. I would love to see it. Please, Grand Theft Auto, bring a Megalodon Easter egg to Grand Theft Auto Online. Another thing I'd like to see is the ability to go inside more buildings. Now, we do love GTA Online and its fact that it is such an open world concept game, but all of that world, there's only a small percentage of the buildings that you can actually enter. I would like to see that brought to a whole nother level, and even if you couldn't do nothing in the buildings, the fact that, you know, if they just simply built the door and the inside textures to it, so at least you could walk in to all these different kinds of buildings. I think that would be very cool. I'd like to also see a first-person view come to GTA Online, especially so when you're in your vehicles, you can see your hands on the steering wheel, maybe the rain hitting the windshield, and you could turn your windshield wipers on, stuff like that. I'd also like to see the ability to have turn signals and stuff on your cars. Now, it'd be optional if you want to use them or not, but for those guys that are car enthusiasts and like to pretend they're driving in real life in the game, it'd just be cool to see turn signals and all that added stuff. We see them in the game now for the computer players. Why not give it to the GTA Online real players, the ability to have turn signals and all that kind of fun stuff. Other things I'd like to see is the ability to have to put gas in your car. Now, I know a lot of people out there didn't like this one. They said, no, we don't want that. It'd become a nuisance. And I think it wouldn't be a nuisance. I think it would actually be a lot of fun. You know, it'd be maybe you rob a guy's vehicle on the street and you come to find out he's on E, or he only has a quarter of tank and you can't get to the other end of the map. It'd just be that extra cool added appeal. And for things like your own personal vehicle, let's say you run out of gas, well, you should be able to call your mechanic, and just like an ammo drop, he can bring you a thing of gas. That'd be extremely cool, and that would give purpose to all the gas stations in the GTA Online game right now. Would actually be used for something. You'd have to go in there and fill up your tank of gas. I think that'd be super cool, give it an extra added realistic appeal. I would like to see the ability that your player would have to eat, just like in San Andreas, that if you didn't eat, you would get skinny. If you ate too much, you'd get fat. And I'd also like to see a gym come to GTA Online so that all of our players didn't look the same. That, each and every player on the game right now has the same kind of body figure. I would like to see it so players can fluctuate from skinny to fat to muscular to give us that added diversity amongst the GTA Online community. Other things I would like to see: cage fighting, MMA fighting with your friends. I know on one of the Grand Theft Autos they had it so you could go in and just fight 5 computer players. Each of the times the computer player would get bigger and better at his combat fighting. And I would just like to see that come to GTA Online, somewhere you could go to that puts you in a ring with your buddy and it's just hand-to-hand melee combat. And that'd be really cool, because every once in a while me and my buddies like to just fight with our fists on the game, just to see, try to do your head ducks, pressing X and maneuvering around. And it'd just be cool to have some kind of cage fighting mini event, something like that you could go and have fun with your friends. Just something added that was different and new, and we've seen it done in Grand Theft Autos in the past. Other things would be, I like to see the jetpack come to GTA Online, the wingsuit as well. Right now, you can kind of do somewhat similar to the wingsuit if you just jump out skydiving and just slightly push forward on your analog stick. Well, I'd like to see them bring in the actual wingsuit, because I would love to do some wingsuiting. I would also like to see more submarines and submersibles come to GTA Online. Right now, they just got the generic one. I'd like to see one that you could have more than one person in, so that you could have maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of your friends go in with you and explore the oceans. That'd be extremely cool. I would like to see a ship that you'd be able to purchase, or something to have something like a shark cage on it, so you and your buddies can get into the shark cage. Because right now, if you try and dive with sharks in the offline GTA sessions and stuff like that, the shark will most likely eat you if you get too close. Well, I'd like to be able to see it. They get into a cage and the shark will attack the cage and stuff like that. It's kind of like a little diving mini event that you could do. That'd be really cool. I'd also like to see submarines come to GTA Online with weaponry, so that we can have underwater battles. We fight in the skies in our jets. We fight on the streets with our guns and stuff, and foots on the ground. Well, let's bring it to another level, and let's bring the warfare to the oceans. Let's have some ships with weapons. Let's have some submarines with missiles, so we can actually have underwater battles. I think that'd be extremely cool. I'd also like to see hunting come to GTA Online. Now, offline they did have it a little bit with Trevor and stuff like that, some few hunting missions. I'd like to see that expanded to GTA Online, so you can hunt things like birds, deers, bears, cougars, moose, and stuff like that. I'd also like to see more hunting clothing come to GTA Online, so you could blend in while you're doing your hunting. Now, they did say that there would be animal photography in the next gen, so there's definitely more wildlife. We should have the ability to hunt them. That'd be extremely cool to go out with your friends and your buddies and do some hunting. That'd be awesome. I'd also like to see more mini games. Right now we have golf and we have tennis and stuff like that, and darts. I'd like to see hockey, basketball, volleyball, and bowling. Bowling would be extremely cool to do with your friends. Have a little bowling alley, and in previous Grand Theft Autos they did have bowling, so they can make it work in the Grand Theft Auto Next Gen. I would like to see season changes come to Grand Theft Auto. Right now, the weather changes, stuff like that, but it's pretty much always summer at the same time. Once in a while around Christmas, they'll bring in some snow, but I would actually like to see it have season changes, so the season starts off as spring and it's real luscious, and then summertime it's nice and green and nice weather, but then eventually when it gets later on into the time span of GTA, maybe you could even do it monthly. This would be, if I was a Rockstar developer, this is what I would do. I'd have the season changes set up with an algorithm that's focused around a year actually being a month in the game, so that the first week of the month in GTA Online would be spring, the second week would be summer, third would be fall, and then the fourth week you might get a little bit of snow, and then once the next month started, the season would change. That way it would give it that added extra realism, and it would be cool to see different weather atmospheres and stuff like that happening in GTA Online. Other things I'd like to see come to GTA Online are drug dealing, pimping, and turf wars. Drug dealing, it would be an extra added little way players could make money if they were bored of doing missions. You could do drug dealing and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Pimping, there's already prostitutes on the street. Why can't you actually hire a few of them to work for you, make some cash on the side? That'd be cool. And turf wars, fight the ballers and stuff like that, take over areas and stuff like that for your pimping and your drug war. You could tie it all into one. That'd be extremely cool. I'd also like to see an arena. Now, there is an arena in GTA Online right now, but I'd like to see it opened up with a motocross or monster truck track inside of it, like we've seen in previous GTAs, where you could actually go into a mini event and do smash up derby or monster truck like that inside. I would like to see an inside motocross track that you could take your monster truck into, race around with your buddies and do laps, or you could drive a dirt bike or a four-wheeler, or you could very well do smash up derby event as well. That'd be extremely cool to see come to GTA Online. I'd also like to see a cruise ship for jets. I know this is a huge stretch, and this one is just kind of one of my wish list things, but I'd like to see it if you could literally purchase a war cruise ship that you could land your Laser or your Besra or your Hydra on out in the ocean. That would be extremely cool to see come to GTA Online. Some other things I would like to see is sunken treasure. So right now we have lots of things underwater, some sunken ships and stuff like that, but I'd like to see sunken treasure down there, some money, maybe 10 grand, nothing too too extreme, because everyone would just be diving trying to get it all the time to make themselves a millionaire. But that way it'd give you that extra added little reason why you want to go diving and looking for things, potential for a nice little payout. I'd like to see the ability to rob banks. Now I know we're going to get heist, but I'd like to be able to just walk in a bank off the street, like we can hit up a local convenience store and also hit up a bank for maybe $20, $30, $40, $50,000. Nothing too extreme, again, because people will be doing it all the time, but that'd be just cool to come to GT Online. I'd like to see dating come to GT Online. In previous Grand Theft Autos, you could have to take your girlfriend out and keep her happy and stuff like that, or boyfriend, vice versa. I'd like to see that brought to GT Online. It'd be pretty cool. Nightlife, I'd like to see a bigger nightlife. So this, instead of just a strip club, I'd like to see a dance club. You could actually go there and dance with your friends and do the dance moves. I did a video on this previous, I'll put in the link in the description so you guys can see that, but previous Grand Theft Autos, you could actually do dancing and stuff like that on Ballad of Gay Tony and stuff like that. It'd be very cool. I would like to see paintball mini events. So having a paintball game would be extremely fun with your players. That'd just be really fun to play, I think. More about the Bigfoot. I'd like to be able to actually see Bigfoot, not on occasion through a mission and whatnot, but actually be able to find him, maybe make him invulnerable with the God mode so we can't kill him, but just be able to spot him in Grand Theft Auto Online would be very cool. I'd also like to see an expansion on an amusement park. Right now you can ride the roller coaster or the Ferris wheel. I'd like to see more rides that you could ride on with your friends. That would be extremely fun. I'd also like to see bulletproof windows come to Grand Theft Auto. Right now you can buy armor and stuff like that to protect your car, but someone can just very easily shoot you in your window of your vehicle when you're driving past and kill you. Now, within reason, when I say bulletproof weapons, I don't mean that you can get in your car and literally be completely no way of getting killed. I think after about a couple 20-30 rounds of weapons that it should actually break through the glass. But I would like to see our glass in our cars be made a little bit stronger than just one little pistol shot can take you out in a car while you bought this full 100% armor in your car, but yet is useless because someone can shoot you through your window. I would like to see the ability to buy businesses and real estates like we can in offline. I'd like to see us to be able to buy businesses and Grand Theft Auto Online so we can get a return on our investments, and that way we could also make some added money. I'd like to see a prone mode come to GT Online next gen, the ability to lay your player down on the ground instead of just crouching. And I'd also like to see a ghillie suit so that prone mode would be really effective when you're trying to go and do sniping. I'd also like to see the ability to save clothing outfits, which we have talked about in the past in this channel. So you don't always have to go and put on your clothing outfit. You could just save one look that you like and just click on your saved ones to get them quicker. I'd like to see yachts come to Grand Theft Auto. Nice big boats that you could have parties on with your buddies, a nice big yacht and stuff like that. Better sound effects for the cars, because right now they sound pretty much, they do sound alright, but they're pretty much all the same kind of sound to them. I'd like to see mansions with helipads, be able to land your helicopters and your personal vehicles at your house, be able to store them there on a helipad. Mansions with docks, so you can have your boats stored at the docks down there, and the ability to DJ in the nightclubs like a Guitar Hero style. You'd have to actually click the X, Y, whatever buttons if you're on Xbox to match it up to the song and be able to DJ to the crowd. Karaoke you could even do, where you sing into the mic and follow the words on screen with your friends while you're at the nightclub. This is just a few. I'm going to end it now because I don't want to make the video too long, but this is just a few things and ideas that I have circling around my head that I would like to see come to GT Online to give that more realistic look to it And let me know in the comment section below if there's anything you guys would like to see come to GTA Online. I just gave you guys a huge list of things I'd like to see come, and I hope they do. I hope this video gets out there, so give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed all the stuff I just listed, because maybe it'll get out there to Rockstar, and maybe they like some of the things I said and will implement them in Grand Theft Auto in the future. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed today's video. I'm your host, The Stoned Anarchist, bringing you guys daily GTA content videos. Peace.